healing. All right. This is going to be a pick a number. Okay. This is going to be a message from your ancestor or ancestors. So we got five different options here. You can pick whichever ones. There may be more than one door that resonates with you if you can't decide. And then the timestamps will be listed down in this description box below. And also, all of my services will be listed in the description box below. I do have a um, coupon code that should be listed in the description box below as well. But yeah, I will see you over at your pal and we'll see which ancestor or ancestors come through from you. Happy healing if you chose group one. Let's get into it. You have master ancestor that did come through for this group. All right. So, for this pal, I will say the first thing I was kind of getting, I was channeling with this ancestor was Karate Kid. Now, if you haven't seen Karate Kid, then you need to go and watch it. Specifically, the scene where it's kind of like wax on, wax off. All right. So I really feel like this master ancestor energy is coming through to kind of give you a nudge encouragement when it comes to consistency and then kind of like a strong nudge and discipline. With this wax on, wax off, there could be things that you're doing that you've kind of not really seen like it pay off for you yet, and it's almost you could be feeling like, oh, this is so pointless. And this master ancestor energy is telling you like, no, this is like preparing you for something that you can't even see what this will be used for. um but it's not like they were waxing a car, right? But it came when the skill was really needed to like defend himself. And then not only that was like to be prepared for battle, and to also be prepared for his reward. So I feel like there are things that you could be called to do, but you don't feel like you feel like maybe you've tried before, maybe you've done it and you didn't see like it paid off. And you're being reminded to like stick to it. Confirmation. Also with this past life, master ancestor energy. As I'm saying past life, okay, so that is coming up. I feel like um this is really an energy of like past life activation. For some reason too, like with this, you could have some connection to like Asia. I'm specifically kind of getting like Tibet and things too, but you could feel like a strong calling pull to Asia, Asian culture, even like anime. I don't know why I just, sidebar I thought about Tina Turner. But yeah, yeah, but anyway, oh my gosh, eat the cake anime. Okay, to stay on topic, but so I'm also kind of getting like this monk energy. I'm getting like this Buddhist, like, why am I saying Buddhist? I wasn't getting that at first, but I'm getting like temple healing rituals, like for you. I'm feeling this heavy nudge of like the wind. You guys can be really connected to like the wind because I'm getting like the wind blowing, but I am also seeing like that water ritual where like cleansing where the water is being poured over like their head. Okay. So let's get into like the messages we have from this ancestor energy showing up as well. So I have a message of not all spirits wish to harm you, but not all desire your heart. So for this group, I feel like you could have had a time of struggle, or like maybe before you saw spirits and sense spirits, and maybe you blocked that kind of off at the stage you are now. But Spirit is saying like maybe you're diving more into spirituality, but there is a sense of like again needing to be prepared and just to consistently protect yourself. So this is even in the sense of like protection rituals. Like you can feel like I'm fine, you may do like you may give readings for instance, and you may feel like you're fine, you give a reading here, you give a reading there, but you're not really cleansing your energy. You're not really protecting your energy. So you're kind of missing the integral part um of like the reason why. So the reason why is because not all the time it's like bad things can happen or things, but it's like, but it is a potential. So cleansing, protecting your energy between readings, before readings, after readings, and just on a daily, consistent basis is critical to you in your own energetic vessel. All right. And I am saying again, this not all growth will be visible. And I feel like, again, there could be this sense of like, why am I doing this? Why do I keep doing this? But with that, not all growth is visible. It's like some of the things that you're learning, the skills that you're attaining, they may not be yet transferable into maybe like you may not be seeing like the biggest, like maybe monetary gain from what you're doing, but spirit is saying like you're getting there. This is building. You don't see it yet, but it's like being activated, being activated. Doctor Strange, I don't know if you guys have seen that, may be very significant for this group as well. You guys may be like time travelers, being able to go into different dimensions. So you may find yourself in odd, weird places as well in your dreams. All right. Other message I got was start your day with intention, not your phone. So making sure, like, again, it's heavy on like the rituals for you, routines, practice, how you're starting your morning, right? How you with prayer, and only you can create what that is going to be for you. But I really get this energy of like it's important that you be super intentional with your energy and time right now. 626 could be significant as well. And I'm seeing like even with the Doctor Strange, your hands being very, very critical part of like you functioning. So it says your hands like want to make things because they used to. So I feel like you could be tapping into past life energy of maybe like you are a herbalist, you were a painter, you were creative, and this kind of energy of these golden hands is being reactivated, kind of like Bruce Leroy energy, right? Well, you do have this energy of protect your peace, not your pride. And it says eat real food. Eat real food, okay? So this is about like you needing like fuel right now, clean energy fuel to transfer over into. I'm seeing like a real life kind of abundance, honestly, for this group. Like, this is you realizing how your energy manifests, all right? But this is what I got from this ancestor energy. If you're interested in another pal, you may find that. But sending you so much love, light, peace, and positivity. Happy healing. All right. If you chose pal 2, we're going into it. So you got this islander slash African ancestor. To be honest, I feel like it was kind of wavering between like the both, maybe even more. I do feel like, this is this energy of even kind of like Rastafarian energy here. Energy of like, because I'm getting like locks or like hair just like free flowing. This is like the way of life is a easy way of life from this ancestor energy that's coming through, right? So this is the spirit of this ancestor. So with the spirit of this ancestor, I'm getting like for you, you may desire to have a much like simpler life ultimately, but you may be like running on like a hamster wheel, or like trying to like figure things out, or your what you desire and the energy that you're in seem to be polar opposites. This is kind of what this ancestor is bringing through. So it's like you want the way of life, the way of ease, but it's like the energy that you're in may be like, oh, I got to make it happen, like panicking, maybe survival mode. So I get this energy of like um, that assistance maybe to kind of break that, you know? um, to break that. You know, even I'm seeing like, someone chopping at like a coconut. It's like, um, it could all be so simple, but you rather make it hard. Because this ancestor is like, maybe you're chopping at a coconut with like a butter knife, instead of using like a machete, because you're like too frantic to like pause for a minute and take the way of ease. So this is like, I also feel like for some of you, this is like, I don't know if you would want to take a vacation or trip, but I'm really getting this energy of like, do the thing like you keep delaying. So this is kind of like, maybe you keep saying like, when I have enough, when I have to, and it's like it'll never be enough. It's that energy of now like needing to make it enough by any means necessary, like make it enough. And this doesn't mean work, work, work hard. This means like open and allow yourself to like be free to just figure things out because it'll never be perfect, right? And there's this energy of like you were never meant to follow people. So there could be this sense of like where you see others doing things like one way and you feel like you're going to pattern yourself behind them, or if I do this, maybe I'll be as successful as they are and then I'll have enough. And for you, this ancestor energy is kind of saying that is not the way because it's not your way. All right. So this is more about ease and healing and more about you freeing your spirit. This is like you're meant to have this free spirited energy, and you can only find that and free that within yourself. So this is like really a need to like invest in your healing. And even when I talk about the Rastafarian lifestyle, it's like less stress, more ease, more slowness, more like natural foods, fruits. It's kind of like where this ancestor is saying, like, you need to be right now. I do see this energy of like writing. So about like revisiting your journal. I feel like if you're a journaler and you journaled in the past, I'm seeing like maybe going back and reading like old journals, old notes. I'm just feeling like maybe answers are there, and even just maybe reconnecting with some of the things like you're experiencing or like the desires you were wanting to experience. Even like old vision boards. There's something about like needing to like connect to your desires. It's almost like this ancestor is trying to tell you like your needs that you have are not too much, and like maybe you're trying to like cut things out and down because you're like, well, maybe I can't do that now, or no, and I feel like there's some sense of like needing to like tap back in with you, to tap back. And I'm hearing you put the lime in the coconut. I don't know why I'm hearing Beetlejuice. But the movie Beetlejuice could be like significant for you, um, as well. But that is like coming up. It's just another movie too, about Bernie. I can't remember. And like Bernie is like, deceased, but like every time they play music, Bernie like gets up and he like dances. I'll have to find what that movie is and I'll try to link it in the description. But there's like just a need for you to be like, and I'm feeling like most of the scenes there, like the people in it was just having fun, and like living life, enjoying life. Because I'm seeing like, maybe you're like Mr. Grouch and things right now, and you could be like very much emotionally eating as well. Because even when I'm talking Mr. Grouch, I'm really seeing like the Cookie Monster. So I feel like this ancestor is saying absolutely not. Absolutely not. And I will say, I'm getting this Gullah Gullah Island energy. So you guys could have like maybe Creole energy as well. This could be like Louisiana, or like, where is it? I have a soul sister from there. Where is it? Charleston, South Carolina. But there's like this Creole energy here too, as well. So Louisiana and like maybe South Carolina, Charleston could be relevant and significant. to your journey. I'm even here in like Georgia, as well. But that's what I'm seeing from this ancestor, sending you so much love. Happy healing if you chose group three, the star ancestor group. All right. So, first thing I was kind of getting was like there were multiple kind of like starseed energies that kind of came through. We had the Arcturians, Lemurians, Lyrans, Syrian energy as well. So this is kind of like I don't know if you ever heard of like the Galactic Federation, but I just feel like this is more like combined effort, not a specific kind of star ancestor, but more like a combined effort. So you guys could have like in your dreams or even in the waking kind of like noticed things that kind of made you go, like that looks familiar, even with like the cats, or people's eyes. That just made you kind of question it, or even in your dreams, because there's this sense of like homesickness, maybe never really feeling at home in this lifetime. So, this star ancestor energy here is not really to kind of bring comfort, but to like remind you of like soul mission. And I know you're probably like, arms like reaching out from like a hug, like, come get me, and it's this song where it's like, Earth is ghetto, I want to leave. And it's like, I know you're probably looking like, save me. And I kind of like, yeah, no. So you have a soul mission that you're supposed to be completing here. So we're going to need you to get it together. Snap, snap, snap. So you have this energy of like a toolbox being given to you. And they're telling you like to expand like your tools. And when I talk about tools, I don't necessarily mean like divination tools. Because like everybody, doesn't have to do like divination. I mean, like there are certain like tools I feel like that some people are drawn to really just help you tap into your own intuitive sense. But in that, it's kind of like, I feel like your star ancestors are encouraging you to explore in this space to like expand like what you have, like, because it's like you're going to need your tools for this mission. So the more well rounded you are, like, the better prepared you are for like your journey. So even in this, I feel like you're really being called to kind of study group three. And I don't mean just stick your head like in YouTube videos and um read a book, because that's one thing, but also like connecting with yourself, meditation, like our, in order to be in alignment, we have to like with our own mission purpose, we got to be in alignment with ourselves. So I see like them kind of like trying to, I don't want to say make you busy, but maybe in a sense, you may be called to be a little bit more like self-isolating at this time. Because you may just be, honestly, I'm not going to say you're distracted, but like maybe you're just invested in the wrong things. Because I am getting this energy of like, don't gossip, like it like dims your spirit. So this doesn't even have to necessarily mean you like just talking to people all day, which if you are, I feel like you should not be right now. In a sense of like, it's like let's get to work, but even in a sense of like overconsumption, social media, like television, like movies, this is like um being very conscious of like what you're hearing, because there's this soul like activation trying to come through, and you don't want to have like negative things like trying to intermingle and mix with what you're doing. All right. So there is this sense for you of like a very protective energy that you could have like over yourself and as well as others. And like your star ancestors are saying, like, like this urge to protect, it was like once like survival. So it's almost like your reflexes are to protect like yourself and maybe like others because at one point like maybe you were not able to. So there is this sense of maybe healing a past trigger that might be keeping you from like excelling and accelerating in your own like spiritual gifts. This could be kind of a block for you. Um, I am seeing this energy of like, stop, like, I don't know if you're just being like overly like, I have to make a plan, like, and you taking so much time, like, trying to plan A through Z and like know everything. And your star ancestors are kind of like telling you, like, it's okay to change your mind. All right, like it's okay for you to do something today and for you not to do it tomorrow. Like this is about like again, freedom, exploration. I don't know, I'm getting like maybe life path 5, life path 8, even life path like 11. I'm hearing master builder. I don't know if that's 33. Um, but I'm also hearing like you're not lazy, you're overwhelmed. So you could again there could be this like you could push yourself kind of very, very hard, but like in the wrong ways. It's like push yourself to know like you're doing amazing. Like I feel like in a sense, your star ancestors are trying to encourage you to change that inner voice, right? I feel like you're ruling with the ironclad here. I don't know even why I'm talking about like that, but I'm getting like maybe there's some connection to you and like I don't want to say the Vikings or like dragons, Asgard, like Thor energy as well. Freya, definitely the stars, of course. Um, but there's this warrior energy, gladiators, Greek mythology maybe. But there's this gladiator energy. So there's like I feel like there's a time for everything, and your inner voice is like keeping you in a fight when there's not a war. But it's like, so who are you fighting? It's just like you sparring endlessly and like missing out on like life. And so this is where redirection is trying to take place to have you like do something different. Like, hey, okay, you've sparred enough. Like, okay, we get it. Like, you're not gonna get beat up anymore. All right. Like, you're not gonna lose. This is kind of like feeling like you don't want to get taken advantage of. And Spirit is kind of saying this is for you to just, this is like reclamation, reclaim your power instead of like fighting for it. This is reclaim it once and for all, right? But that is what I'm receiving from your star ancestors. Sending you so much love, light, peace, and positivity. All right, heavy healing. If you chose group 4, this is going to be a grandmother ancestral spirit. This could be grandmother, great grandmother on either father or mother's side. Um, and for some of you, I am hearing like adoption. Okay, but let's get into it. So the first thing that was kind of coming up was like a need to like cut back. So I don't know if you're watching like readings a lot or consistently or like there's a sense of like maybe too much. So I don't know if like you're an intuitive, you're a reader, and you're always like trying to do your own readings. I'm hearing especially around like love, but like maybe watching too many readings, um, and things like that because there is this need of I feel like of like stop asking for signs. Like you already got them. At this point, this is just about trusting the process. Um, so it's like keep looking for the answers, looking for the answers. You've already got them, for sure. And I do see this energy of like clean your space. Um, so I'm hearing like pine needle, but I'm really just seeing like candles. Okay. There is this sense of like maybe having strong women in your family where like women were strong, women were resilient, like women got it done. So I feel like this ancestral spirit is like saying like it's time for you to balance that energy out of being like resilient, yes, right? But not emotionless. Like knowing compassion, knowing compassion. I also see that this grandmother's spirit also sends you a lot of dreams at night as well. And I'm getting this energy. It's like about be still, child. It's like needing to be still so you can pick up what Granny is putting down. Because maybe sometimes you're trying to move too fast. You missed it. All right. So it says stillness is not emptiness. It's the fall or knowing. So I'm hearing like just because it's familiar doesn't mean it's healthy. Um, yeah. So even in the sense of like that, I feel like again we're on the road of where it's talking about like over consuming spiritual like things, spiritual people, spiritual. This is like just overly consuming. Where I feel like Granny is kind of saying push back. I don't know if you used to cook with Granny because that's kind of like a scene that I'm seeing right now. Cooking with Granny. Um, okay. There was this very long pause, and even with this long pause, I know you guys are probably like, What happened?" And I was saying 333, but I feel like this spirit is calling for you to get like really still right now. Um, I keep getting like stillness for this group. Um, I feel like maybe you've been going and going and going and going, and there's something about like the way that you're going, it's not even going to be like super relevant, or like the way that you feel like you have to go is not going to be relevant. Because what I'm seeing is kind of this energy of the Jetsons. I don't know if you guys have ever seen like the Jetsons cartoon. So if not, look it up. But the Jetsons cartoon was like this futuristic kind of cartoon. So I feel like with this ancestral grandmother spirit, and even like when we look at the picture on the screen, I feel like you have seeds of something, um, and but you're almost trying to like rush things or like come up with like an easier way, like to get things done faster. And I feel like this grandmother spirit is saying like you're trying to like invent like shortcuts, an easier way, a better machine, and none of these things are gonna be like really relevant. It's just about you knowing the history. It's about you knowing the process. It's about you knowing the roots of like what it means to like sow into the ground, into your like sowing into yourself. So you never forget that. So you have the meaning and you understand it. Because when you look at the Jetsons, it's like none of that, and like they didn't have cars and all of this was like futuristic things in a future time. So I feel like where you're putting your energy on things that don't matter, but you're missing the meaning behind the moment, behind the sewing process. It's kind of like begrudging it instead of embracing it, right? It's like this is something I'm hearing like worthy of your praise, but I feel like this is connecting you to yourself, but also connecting you to your ancestors. And instead of begrudging, maybe like, oh my gosh, this takes so long, or the process, or of like, oh, like why is this taking so long? It's like embrace like the connection, the divinity of what it is that you are doing in those moments. So I'm seeing like This is really about kind of like learning the processes, but also like learning your work. Um, I'm saying learning your work, but I also feel like learning your work is to learn your worth as well. This is about you equipping yourself. So it's that student to teacher energy. So that like there's not always a lean on things outside of yourself, more internal. But this is what I'm getting from this ancestral grandmother energy. Also, there could be this sense of like you being a sense of like a healer, and maybe needing to like utilize the earth to assist in your own personal healing. And I'm seeing 717. Sending you so much love and light. All right, pal 5. You got the indigenous ancestor coming out for you. Um, and for some reason, for this group, I was hearing like a story, a storyteller group. I don't know, it's given like mm, this ancestor like wants to tell you a story. You know what this reminds me of? I don't know. With this indigenous ancestor, you guys could be like connected or disconnected from like indigenous um your indigenous roots. But I am kind of getting this like the legend of two wolves. It's a Native American story. About two wolves, and it's like one is kind of good and one is like, kind of like not so good, right? It's kind of like, and it's like those two wolves battling, and it's like which one is going to make it, and then they say the one that you feed. So I'm if I can remember, I'm going to link that in the description for this group. So you guys can take a look at that if you've never seen that or heard of it. But with that, I feel like Spirit is really calling for you to like, what are you feeding? Are you feeding the things that are not going right, the negative things, right? The things that are like heavy, like, oh my gosh, are you kind of in this spirit of like complaining, and this like, my life is so terrible, things ain't changed. Are you in the spirit of like gratitude, embracing joy, embracing freedom? Sometimes we forget where we really are and where we've come from, and we don't really honor like that space, in gratitude and giving like reverence, for giving us that far. So I'm hearing like drums beating as well. So even when I think about drums, it reminds me of like heartbeat. So I feel like even drums of like the heartbeat, and it's kind of like, what is your heart beating for? What is your heart beating for? I feel like this ancestor is trying to remind you. It's almost like I feel like this like sacred journey of like almost trying to wake you up. I don't know. I feel like I saw a movie or something about that. And I think I mentioned a bobcat in like one of my other videos. I don't know, but it was like a sacred ceremony, indigenous ceremony. And I'm just seeing a lot of smoke and like yeah. Pocahontas is coming up. And even with this like great spirit, you guys can be connected to like the Avatar movie too. And not like the one with Aang, like the Avatar, like the blue Avatar. um, because there's when I think about Pocahontas, I'm thinking being brought to like the grandmother like willow tree, and I think about the Avatar like Awa, the tree spirit. So I do feel like you have a strong connection to the trees, but even in the sense of like creating a fire. It's like, what is your fire like burning for? Like, are you burning like the trees uselessly, like to just keep a fire aflame, or are you giving honor and like just burning like what you need? Um, So I feel like there's this call to you to really honor like what you've been given to like survive, and so like you could maybe move forward. There is this sense of like maybe heartbreak with this group. Um and I feel like you've kind of just been toting the heartbreak around, maybe like a purse, you know? And I'm getting this message from this ancestor like that relationship wasn't love, it was a lesson. And the lesson is only a lesson like really once it's been learned. So it's like toting it around, but the lesson has not been um, really learned. I also see this like need maybe to like tap more into like the spirit of who you are, your ancestral spirit, maybe with like totems or things that they wore as well. But there's this sense of like, you know, what do they call it? Like arrhythmia, you know, like abnormal heartbeat. Like your heart isn't beating like it should be because of the pain. It's like of this like past relationship, whatever this may be, it's like throwing you off rhythm. So there's a need for you to kind of like get back in a space of gratitude, but also to release this energy. Um, and even that song I'm hearing, let it burn, let it burn. It's like if you're gonna let something burn, let the things that no longer serve you burn. You know, it's like why are you burning a fire but you're not releasing anything? A burning bowl ritual might be really good for you as well. Because I'm hearing like throw it in the fire, throw it in the fire, throw it in the fire. Like writing, throwing it in the fire. What is it? Writing a letter to release, throwing it in the fire, right? Um, Throwing it in the fire. So a burning bowl ritual. But I'm getting from this ancestor, there's a need for you to make room for new blessings. Because I do feel like new blessings are wanting to come in. I keep seeing like the turtle animal spirit. So I definitely feel like, you know, things could be moving quite slowly. Um, but there's this sense of like burning, releasing the past, right? And not just sitting in rage, but then like resetting, putting your feet like in the water. You know, it's this strong message though of like you could feel like you're going crazy or people think you crazy. And this ancestor spirit is saying like you're just evolving. You're just evolving, you know? You're just evolving. And as soon as you like just embrace your evolution, um, the more you can embrace the movement. So I am seeing like needing to give honor, reverence to like maybe your ancestors, to your journey, and to your spirit. And I'm getting this strong connection with animals for this group as well. I feel like there was one more. Um, but I'm getting like the animals watch you because they remember you. So you may have like animals, it seems like always just weirdly or strangely show up in odd places around. Um, and it might look like animals are just staring at you, you know? But I'm getting like you have this very strong connection to animals. And I feel like they're trying to also assist in reminding you of who you are, right? And reminding you of who you are not so that you can let go of things because there's this sense of like letting go of things. It's a sense of like just because something is familiar doesn't mean it's healthy. So it's like letting go of the patterns that no longer serve you, but that you've been carrying along with you during this time. But that's what I'm seeing from this ancestor. Sending you so much love.